Hello everyone. Today we'll start with Unit 2 of Culture and Communication, which is Developing Life Skills. We have covered Unit 1, Ethical Values from Indian Cultural Heritage, which involved 3 topics: Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, United We Stand, Divided We Fall, and Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. If you want to watch these topics, you can watch the previous video. So in this video, we'll start with Developing Life Skills, Unit 2. What do you understand by life skills? Life skills are abilities that help people live a successful, balanced, and responsible life. And developing life skills is a process of learning and improving the abilities needed to handle everyday challenges and difficulties effectively. All the life skills are grouped into 3 main categories. First one is cognitive skills. Cognitive skills involve skills related to thinking ability, like problem solving, critical, and creative thinking. Second is social and interpersonal skill. Social and interpersonal skill involves empathy, which we'll study under this unit. Communication skills, teamwork, etc. come under social skills. Next is emotional management. Emotional management skills involve self-awareness, stress regulation, come under these. So the first is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another person. It basically means that when we are putting ourselves into someone else's shoes and perspective. So there are 3 main types of empathy as well. Cognitive empathy. Cognitive empathy means that when we understand what the other person might be feeling, but not necessarily feeling it yourself. So we are just understanding, not feeling it necessarily. Second is emotional and effective empathy. It involves that you are understanding what another person might be feeling, as well as you are feeling it yourself. So there's a subtle difference between both of them. Next is compassionate empathy. It means you are understanding what the other person is feeling, you are feeling it yourself, and you are taking action to help. So it comes under compassionate empathy. So first, cognitive empathy is you are understanding. Emotional empathy is you are understanding as well as you are feeling, and compassionate empathy is you are understanding, you are feeling, as well as you are taking action to help. Fine. So there are steps through which you can practice empathy. So first of all, you have to be a good listener. If you're not a good listener, you don't listen to people properly, you're very judgmental. So it's quite hard for you to practice empathy. So first you have to be a good listener. When someone is talking, maintain eye contact, do not interrupt when they are saying, and give full attention to whatever they are saying. Then put your perspective, your point of view, whatever you want to convey. Next is avoid judging. Yes, avoid judging is a main criteria for practicing empathy, because if you're judgmental, then it's really hard for you to understand what the other person might be feeling. So you have to stay non-judgmental. Third most important is that you have to observe non-verbal clues. So whenever we are talking, it's not necessary that we say everything, we express our emotions through words only. Our body language, tone of speaking, and facial expressions tell a lot about what we might be feeling. So we have to focus on that also while we are talking to someone. Next is that observing body language, reflecting and paraphrasing, practicing self-awareness, taking perspective. So basically imagining yourself in their situation and considering their background and experiences helps us practice empathy. So now, at last, let's also understand the difference between empathy and sympathy, because people might confuse between both of them. Empathy is basically understanding and sharing another person's feeling. So it's when you step in another person's shoes. That's empathy. When you take their perspective, feel what they might be feeling. But sympathy is on the surface level. It means that when you are feeling sorry, pity, or compassion for someone, it's sympathy. Empathy is feeling with someone, and sympathy is feeling for someone. So empathy is, a little deeper level emotion, which means the ability to step into someone else's shoes, understand and share feeling, thoughts, experiences of another person. And there are also some ways to practice empathy. You have to remember these. So empathy is this. Next life skill, an important life skill, is adaptability. Adaptability, as the name suggests, is the ability to adjust oneself to new situations, environments and changes effectively. It means being flexible and ready to change according to situations. So, as we know, that the world we live in today is not the world we are going to be living in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. The world, the environment, the technologies are constantly changing. And if we do not adapt with them, then it's hard for us to survive, because adaptability is the key to survival. So if we do not learn to adapt ourselves with this emerging technologies, changing situations, fast-paced world, then it's really hard for us to survive in this world. So key features of adaptability involves the ability to handle changes, because some people are very afraid of changes. They want to live in the comfort zone, whatever they are used to. They want to stay with that only, and whenever they hear something new coming, they get anxious, scared, and a state of panic gets created. So we have to have the ability to handle changes. We should have a positive attitude towards new situations, not always negative. You have to, yes, continuous learning. It's not that whatever we have studied, it's all there in the world. There are constantly chances for us to learn in everyday situations. So you have to learn constantly, then only you can adapt. Emotional stability and problem solving mindset. A mindset also matters a lot in involving all these life skills. So why adaptability is important in today's world? Its relevance in today's world. So in today's fast changing world, technology is constantly evolving. We all know that. AI is coming, the new emerging technologies. Jobs and careers are also changing rapidly. The jobs we had 10 years ago, 20 years ago are not the same. They're changing, and many new jobs are emerging, like AI generalists are there, and many other new jobs are also emerging. So, and global changes like pandemics, climate changes, all these require flexibility. So if we are not adapting to new situations, then it's hard for us to survive in these situations of panic. So how can we adapt? How can we develop adaptability? There's some ways you can, it will help you develop adaptability. Involves be open-minded. So you should, have a positive attitude towards changing. You should learn to change. You have to be open-minded. A rigid thinking will not help you adapt to situations. So you have to accept new ideas, perspective, and avoid rigid thinking. Be open-minded. Embrace change, because change is an opportunity. It's not a problem. It's not a problem or a state of panic. It's an opportunity to learn more and opportunity to grow. So changes, you have to embrace them. You have to not be afraid of them. Next is you have to practice flexibility. Adjust to plans when needed. Be ready to try new approaches, new ideas, new way of learning. It will help you adapt. Continuous learning new skills regularly. Stay updated with trends. See, in today's world, only growing in academics will not help you, because you have to develop skills as well. There are new skills developing. If we adapt to them, then it will help us in our career and whatever we have to accomplish in our future. Next is building resilience. We have to stay strong during difficulties, during difficult times, and learn from our failures. Next is thinking creatively. Find new solutions to problem. Today we have chat GPT, everything which find solutions for our problems. But we have stopped thinking to a level. And if we do this continuously, then it will not improve these life skills. So we have to think creatively. We have to use our brain as much as we can. We have to find solutions to our problem by our own self. We have to think out of the box, write more, whatever we can do to improve our skills, to improve our mental abilities, which will also help us adapt more. So what are the barriers to adaptability? As we have already learned, people who are afraid to change, people who have fear of change, lack of confidence, fixed mindset, orthodox, rigid thinking, people who are resistant to new ideas, and overthinking and stress can all, these are all barriers to adaptability. These will not help us in getting adaptable to situations. So adaptability is basically adjusting to new ideas. And this is also a very important life skill that we come across in today's world. Second is conserving natural resources. So natural resources, as we know, are resources available in the environment, in the nature. There are two main types of natural resources that you may have learned in your previous classes, that are renewable and non-renewable resources. So renewable resources are resources which get constantly replenished in the nature by their own, and if we manage them properly, then they can be produced indefinitely, like sunlight, water, wind, forest. These are renewable resources. Non-renewable resources include coal, oil, natural resources, mineral, iron. These are resources which are fixed. These exist in fixed and limited amount, and they take millions of years to form again, to get replenished. So natural resources can be renewable, can be non-renewable, and it's important that we use them in a fixed amount. We use them carefully, judicially. So what are the ways in which we can conserve natural resources? First is, of course, we have learned this: reduce, reuse and recycle, the 3 R's, which will help us reduce waste, reduce materials and recycle products. Second is saving energy. So energy, like turning off lights when we're not using it, using energy efficient devices. So these are some very small steps that we have learned when we were kids and everything, and these help us save natural resources to a level. Choosing eco-friendly products, avoiding plastic and sustainable materials, avoiding single-use plastic. So you have to correct it: avoiding single-use plastic and use sustainable materials. Conserve water, fix leaks, use water carefully. Rainwater harvesting, when it rains, you can collect the rainwater in a bucket. You can use it to wash the floor and etc. Mopping, you can use it for that purpose. Washing cars, etc. Planting trees, as we know, trees absorb carbon dioxide and they help maintain the oxygen balance. So planting trees can help us conserve resources. Using public transport, which reduces pollution and saves fuel. So these are some things we can do to conserve natural resources. So natural resources are essential. We can see that in the ongoing war these days, crucial natural resources like crude oil are getting wasted. Fuels, carbon emission, soil is getting contaminated. So what do you think, if these resources, these are damaged to such level that they cannot be replenished, then from where will we get these resources? These are limited. Oil, natural resources, these are limited. So if they get if we use them not judicially, if we use them not in a limited level, then they'll get vanished. We'll have no more of these resources. So it's important for us to use these resources carefully. Next comes sharing knowledge resources. So knowledge resources are basically resources that help us gain knowledge, share knowledge. Okay, so knowledge sharing is the process of learning from others and helping others learn. Whatever knowledge we have, we can share it with others. Whatever knowledge they have, they can share it with us. That's sharing knowledge resources. So sharing knowledge resources means exchanging information, ideas, skills, experiences with others for learning and development. It helps individuals, organizations and society grow together by spreading useful knowledge and information and improving understanding. So sharing whatever knowledge we have with others and gaining whatever knowledge others have. So what are the ways in which we can share knowledge resources? First is with collaboration with others. So working with people who have similar interests like we have, or expertise, helps in exchanging ideas, experiences and information. And collaboration also promotes teamwork. Teamwork, as we have learned, it's a social and interpersonal skill. So collaboration also helps us improve knowledge resources as well as teamwork. Participating in online forums and communities, online platforms and discussion allow people to ask questions, share ideas. So social media, it can be a negative. We can take it as a negative thing, as a positive thing as well. Because social media involves a lot of information that can help us gain knowledge. We can experience, we can talk to different kinds of people, ask questions, share ideas, learn from other people, experts. And around the world we can communicate with anyone. So it's a good thing. Social media can help us share knowledge resources, but if we use it to a limited amount only, then it's helpful. Third is attending workshops and conferences. Conferences, seminars, workshops, these all provide opportunities to gain new knowledge or share experiences with others in the same field. Creating and sharing content using videos, podcasts, articles, infographics. In YouTube these days we have a lot of content, so these help us share resources, what we know, with you all, and whatever you know, you share it with us. So it's we are sharing resources with each other, whatever important resource we have with ourselves. Then comes mentoring others. Mentoring and guiding others, supporting people who are less experienced, like teachers, seniors, professionals, can share their knowledge with us, and help us grow and improve together. Then next comes using social media. Social media platforms, as I told you, they can be a good way to share knowledge, educational resources, articles, ideas, awareness about important topics. So basically this unit was all about how we can develop new skills, life skills, abilities that will help us grow in life and handle difficulties. First was empathy, which means understanding the emotions of others, stepping into another person's shoes and feeling what they might be feeling. And there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Next is adaptability. It means adapting to new situations, environments, and it's important in today's world because the world in which we live today is not the world we lived 10 years ago, and it's not the world we live in the future. So it's changing constantly, and we have to learn to adapt in this fast changing world. Next is conserving natural resources, because resources are limited and they exist in a fixed amount, and if they're not used judicially, then they can be extinct, they can vanish, and they'll take millions of years to form. So it's important for us to take small steps to conserve natural resources and whatever we can do. Last was sharing knowledge resources. So it's sharing whatever knowledge we have with you and whatever knowledge you have to share it with us. Gaining knowledge and exchanging knowledge. It's all about that. So we can do it with social media, with collaborating with others, joining workshops, seminars, creating and sharing content, using podcasts, reading articles, mentoring others, etc. are the ways to share knowledge resources. So this is all about Unit 2, developing life skills. In the next video, we'll start with Unit 3, which is effective communication in everyday life. This is all for today's video. Thank you.